With us now, Congressman Adam Kinzinger, who sits on the Foreign Affairs Committee. Things seem to be heating up with respect to Iran right now, Congressman. How concerned are you?
I'm concerned, but let's keep in mind where this kind of heat up began. It began from Iran. So a couple of points. First off, the flawed Iran nuclear deal. It's not that long till they're pretty much out of the deal anyway, and they can rush towards nukes. So when they talk about enriching uranium and we can potentially, like, that's not that far into the future anyway under the deal. But if you look in Yemen, for instance, the supplying of the Houthi rebels, they've given no food aid to Yemen, but they've only given a lot of military weapons, put them in the middle of cities so that civilians get killed. Look at what they've done in Syria. Look at what they've done in Lebanon. Look at what they've done around Israel and in Iraq. I mean, a quarter of American troops killed in Iraq were a direct or indirect result of Iran in the first place, and then they're still there. So this idea that the U.S. is escalating, I would say that the U.S. is finally reacting properly to Iran's escalation in the region.
There is also this mysterious sabotage of at least 4 oil tankers in the Persian Gulf area. The Iranians are blaming the Israelis for that. That sounds like classic disinformation.
Yeah, I highly doubt the Israelis sabotage Saudi oil tankers. That's silly. We all know that, except maybe the people that are getting Iranian state media, and I think even they are smart enough to know the difference. So there's no doubt Iran wants to escalate to the extent they can. They don't want to face U.S. military because they know it'll be a very quick fight and very one-sided, but they want to push back against President Trump as best as they can, and I think he's doing the right thing by putting a strong posture. I think actually having a military option and a strong military presence makes military conflict much less likely, but keep in mind, they've been confronting our military and our allies in that region for a long time, and it's escalated a lot recently with the cash infusion from the Iran deal.
Our viewers should know that you're a military veteran yourself, I think still active in the Air Force Reserves. But the president essentially, kind of backed away from the idea that we are sending or we are preparing the possibility of 120,000 troops to go to the Middle East. Is that wise if, in fact, Iran is misbehaving?
Well, I think what the president did was said, basically, hey, I don't know about this planning. Anytime the Pentagon, they have to have plans for every possibility. And I think having a plan for Iran with 120,000 troops makes sense. But the president followed that by saying, if we actually get into conflict, I'll send, quote, a whole hell of a lot more than 120,000. So I think he sent a strong message, which is we're prepared to do whatever we need to do. And again, I think that strength makes military conflict less likely. But if Iran wants to play this game that they started, that they've been playing in the Middle East for as long as they have, then the U.S. can come in and end it pretty quickly. But we don't want to do that, but we're willing if we need to.
Meantime, we've got the USS Abraham Lincoln steaming in that area, and if there is misbehavior on the part of the Iranians, that's a fairly quick answer.
It is, and there's a lot of assets in the region, Qatar, UAE, elsewhere, that we can take out some of the assets of Iran if we need to. It doesn't mean a full military invasion, but we can end their ability to close the Straits of Hormuz, for instance. We can hit them in areas where they have, tens of thousands of troops in Syria, by the way. So there's a way to react. We don't seek that, but if they want to escalate, I mean, that's a choice that they're ultimately going to make.
Congressman Adam Kinzinger, part of the House Foreign Affairs Committee. It's good to have you on. Thank you.
You bet. Anytime.